Hello everybody, welcome back to Rich's Realm. And now, Realmers, we have the new Heroic, Normal and Beginner difficulties of World Quest. This one is Wakandan themed. I'm going to get right into the action, just talk about some tips and tricks and just roll the footage because I do want to make this video as close to just under 10 minutes as possible. So let's just roll the footage, shall we? Now there shouldn't be a huge amount of concern in this one. Heroic is actually in this one a lot more easier than the previous one, especially because this is more of a Stronghold version in that you have got to protect your isosphere. I think it's an isosphere. The main thing with this one is that you get the healing point, so you can then go smack a few enemies and then go back to the healing point as soon as you can. And I would say that's something of importance. Always good as well, the projectile throwers, so the big adaptoids that throw, it's important to get them out as soon as possible because they are going to really damage that isosphere. So as quick as you can, try and take them out or allow them to focus fire on you. So as soon as you've done that between waves, just head back. Regen gear, health regen gear is going to be helpful to you and it's going to help you be more sustainable. It's also good this time you get to have a Sorcerer Supreme on your team, so that's important. At least one of you has got that, and also you can use your shield, as I'm using now on screen, to protect my isosphere. So if you are running a Sorcerer, run Book, because you've got the healing, you've got the damage from your SP2, but more importantly you've got the sphere. So that will keep your isosphere alive, or your shield. So you have the shield so you can keep the isosphere alive. And if you can, put yourself in harm's way versus the attacks that are coming towards you. And yeah, as we're doing that, we're taking the adaptoid things first. As I said, this one is a little bit more easier than normal. Shout out to Karma and shout out to AJ Reaper for their time and kind of grind, because that's what we're doing. We're grinding this together. Can heal up your fellow players, please do so. Also, again, having a sorcerer book is massively important because as well you're kind of you're wasting the time. And this one was very tight, by the way. This wasn't this wasn't the best performance that we've done, but it's just a case you've got to do what you can do in order to keep everything alive. This worked great because we got ourselves to the last one, and then we look to take out the sorcerer first and create a bit of distance. And you can do that thing, as I've said in the past. You grab the enemies and you lead them astray. You lead them into different areas or go wide. It's not on this village, but I know that one of the lads, it was the case both of us were down. He then one of them went off and kind of drew the enemy, which then means they're not going to the isosphere, which means that you can focus fire elsewhere and keep you alive. So that's the thing, keep you still playing. And that one was done. A little bit tight on that one, not the greatest performance, but if it's stupid and it works, then it isn't stupid, and whatever it takes just to get the win is vitally important as well. So this time I'm looking for distance, and I've got myself a little bit of a web warrior, and web warrior is so cool on distance. Disappointing with the fact that you do get slowed down, and that's something to be concerned about. If you can't get yourself to the relevant areas to then apply pressure to then take down the enemies, it's important. Even though I didn't need to return back to the isosphere, I think sometimes it's applicable just to kind of get my head back in the game. And again, that was good. Got the adaptoids thrown towards me as opposed to the enemy. Had a few problems with these blockages, these kind of these walls in the way, especially the little one that's towards the front there. You have to go round it. I don't know why. Every time I move to it, it just kind of glitches out in a weird way. Love the SP3 of Web Warrior, especially not doing Gatlings, because you get to there's time to knock down the enemy with that SP3, which means they're not moving around, they're not doing off their SP3, and it's just handy for suppression. Rooting in place allows enemies not to move with Web Warrior, which is great. I'd say the Gatling web shooters are actually better for that one, because with the is it the SP2? The SP2, there's more champions being rooted in place, which means it's a bit more effective. But still, again, if it works, it works, and it worked. Creating a bit of distance again. That SP3 knocking down, web rooting in place. Now, yes, Karma's gone to take over the left-hand side. That's good, cool. Take down the side adaptoids that's throwing stuff at our isosphere. And this is the thing. This is fun. I'm enjoying this world quest more than I've enjoyed, say, the previous one. I didn't really like the previous one that much. And we just got ourselves to wave 7 right now. Quick time to heal up. As I said, health regen gear might be a little bit handier if your gear is weaker. I would say if you're rocking anything about, let's say, 1,000, you might want to, again, invest into health regen gear. If you see my video about don't scrap this gear, that's what I'm talking about. The idea that that gear will kind of like help you out a little bit more, especially with having regen here. You're going to be reaching up quite quickly. I think this is when one of the lads went off and kind of like drew the enemy away. So that was good. Unfortunately, it's not the most ideal thing to die just then. But again, it is what it is. They managed to take out Black Panther. Focus fire on that, and the job is done. The last one is cap. Now, again, I would stress that if you had a cap that has, and I have on block, you gain healing. It's kind of important. This one doesn't go so well. Funny enough, straight after this, I kind of learned my lessons and kind of like adapt to the situation. The biggest problem I have with my cap at the moment is gear. The gear is alright, but the rank on it is pretty darn low. Stats on it aren't overly great. And as well, there was just a few bad plays here, which is going to be self-evident. But we come back a bit later on and we get the win. We'll be doing like a rewards opening in a minute. But again, I'd say with cap, again, health regen gear is helpful. The vibranium shield is good, but if you want to really knock, I don't know, both of them do similar things. Look, there's multiple enemies which the SP2 of a standard vibranium shield would be really good for. But at the same time, I don't know, I kind of feel that the vibranium shield is good in what it does, and as well kind of allows for that extra burst of damage, which is nice. But it's just a case of using SP2s and SP3s effectively to suppress enemy movements and stop movements. Oh, this is slow. Oh, this is slow. Especially if you have to get around a corner like I'm trying to do there. I'm like, this isn't fun. But it's all good. Going and we're attacking the adaptoids, making sure those projectile firers are not doing anything. And in a moment, I'm going to see like how things go ridiculously bad. Now I'm getting up close. I'm SP1ing, SP2ing, and then all of a sudden, right, things just go bad. Like I was really, I should have just got myself out of there as quickly as I could, because that's the turning point right there. That is the turning point when things go bad. When you're having a bad game, or let's say there's one instance where something goes bad, you can just see now, like we're just gone down to really low. It's down really low now, and there's nothing really much I can do, or we can do even because like we've got these adaptoids at distance firing that stuff. They're pretty potent. If they're allowed to fire for any length of time, they're gonna really punish you. But regardless of this, we do get the win, so that's fine. But we just don't get that elusive 50%. But we do get it down the line, so that's good. And that's the thing, we're down to 2% going into the final wave 7, and it's difficult. It's a difficult one to get this one. So I'm going straight into doing that. I'm going to go smack as hard as I can, just kind of get down the enemy. And I think I'm going to die. Yeah, I get knocked out, but it doesn't matter, like, because you know a win's a win, by the means of us getting it. So look, it's all good at the end of the day. I come back, but the job is pretty much done and dusted by the time I get there. So yeah, those have been indeed, yes, a few tips on the event, and just showcasing it if you are considering doing it. And yeah, as I said, the main things are health regen gear is very important. Use the book version of Sorcerer Supreme in order to shield off your isosphere. Concentrate on some of those adaptoids chucking the things over the top of their heads, because they will smack your isosphere a lot in the heroic. And make sure to take down the sorcerer right at the very end. I'd say first, just to avoid anything like regen, but as well if you're using champions that have stun, slow, and if you've got some of those new passives, and man, I love those passives, by the way. Those passives are amazing. Just picked up a few passives myself for my Black Panther. Anything that does like slow or anything can be really helpful. I think I can't use Storm, but if you were able to use Storm on this, then man, that would be cool. But apart from that, anyway, that's been the video. And as well, thanks very much for watching. I'll be doing a little opening in a minute, another video, but thanks for watching. See you all very soon. Have a great time in game. Bye bye.